Today we are going to start our English 1 lesson, that is chapter number 7, and the chapter name is The All American Slug. First of all, I'm going to read the lesson. You take out your book, that is page number 92, and you see the lesson very carefully. First of all, I'm going to read the red letter words, and after that I will begin the chapter. Lancy Namioka moved with her parents from China to the United States of America. As a result of this change, they noticed many differences in the habits and culture of the two countries. Here, Lancy describes her experience with a new kind of food. Read on to find out what happens when she and her family attend an American dinner party. Now I begin the lesson, you see. The first time our family was invited out to dinner in America, we disgraced ourselves while eating celery. We had immigrated from China to this country, and during our early days here, we had a hard time with American table manners. In China, we never ate celery or any other kind of vegetable in its raw form. We always had to disinfect the vegetables in boiling water first. When we were presented with our first release tray, the raw celery caught us unprepared. We had been invited to dinner by our neighbors, the Galatians. After arriving at the house, we shook hands with our host and packed ourselves onto a sofa. As our family of 4 sat stiffly in a row, my younger brother and I stole glances at our parents for a clue as to what to do next. Mrs. Gleason offered the salad tray to mother. The tray looked pretty, with its tiny red radishes, curly sticks of carrots, and long, slender stalks of pale green celery. Do try some of the celery, Mrs. Lin, she said. It's from a local farmer and it's sweet. Mother picked up one of the green stalks and father followed suit. Then I picked up a stalk and my brother did too. So there we sat, each with a stalk of celery in our right hand. Mrs. Gleason kept smiling. Would you like to try some of the dip, Mrs. Lane? It's my own recipe. Sour cream and onion flakes with a dash of Tabasco sauce. Most Chinese don't care for dairy products, and in those days I wasn't even ready to drink fresh milk. Sour cream sounded perfectly revolting. Our family shook our heads in unison. Mrs. Gleason went off with the release tray to the other guest, and we carefully watched to see what they did. Everyone seemed to eat the raw vegetables quite happily. Mother took a bite of her celery. Crunch! It's not bad, she whispered. Father took a bite of his celery. Crunch! Yes, it is good, he said, looking surprised. I took a bite and then my brother did too. Crunch, crunch. It was more than good, it was delicious. Raw celery has a slight sparkle, a gingy taste that you don't get in cooked celery. When Mrs. Gleason came around with a relish tray, we each took another stalk of celery except my brother. He took two. There was only one problem. Long strings ran through the length of the stalk and they got caught in my teeth. When I helped my mother in the kitchen, always pull the strings out before slicing celery. I pulled the strings out of my stalk. Jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip. My brother followed suit. Jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip. To my left, my parents were taking care of their own stocks. Jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip, jet, jet, chip. Suddenly, I realized that there was dead silence except for our jipping. Looking up, I saw that the eyes of everyone in the room were on our family. Mr. and Mrs. Gleason, their daughter Meg, who was my friend, and their neighbors, the Baddles, they were all staring at us as we busily pulled the strings of our celery. That wasn't the end of it. Mrs. Gleason announced that dinner was served and invited us to the dining table. It was lavishly covered with platters of food, but we couldn't see any chairs around the table. So we helpfully carried over some dining chairs and sat down. All the other guests just stood there. Mrs. Gleason bent down and whispered to us, "This is a buffet dinner. This is a buffet dinner. You help yourselves to some food and eat it in the living room." Our family beat a retreat back to the sofa as if chased by enemy soldiers. For the rest of the evening, too ashamed to go back to the dining table, I nursed a bit of potato salad on my plate. Next day, Meg and I got on the school bus together. I wasn't sure how she would feel about me after the spectacle. Our family had made of themselves at the party, but she was just the same as usual, and the only reference she made to the party was, "I hope you and your folks got enough to eat last night." You certainly didn't take very much. Mom never tries to figure out how much food to prepare. She just puts everything on the table and hopes for the best. I began to relax. The Galatians' dinner party wasn't so different from a Chinese meal after all. My mother also puts everything on the table and hopes for the best. The story continued with the narrator's family inviting the Galatians for dinner. The Galatians found it difficult to eat with chopsticks. They felt as uncomfortable as the narrator's family had felt at their place. The narrator discovered, to her pleasant surprise, that some things were common between the two families. If the Chinese slurped their soup, the Americans slurped their milkshakes. So, with this, the lesson is over, and you have to know about the writer. Well, first we have to know that who is the writer of this chapter, and the writer of this chapter is Lancy Namioka. She was born in China in 1929. As a young girl, she came to the United States of America. She is best known for her adventurous samurai stories. She is also known for her Yang family series. The series deals with the humorous experiences of a Chinese family who moved to America. So, the writer was a Chinese writer. Lancy Namioka was born in 1929, and she was a young girl when she came to the United States of America, and she is best known for her adventurous samurai stories. And she was also famous for her Yang family series. And the series deals with the humorous experiences of Chinese family who moved to America. And in this lesson, we are going to study about a Chinese family who was invited by an American family for the dinner party. And here, the chapter name is The All American Slurp. Now, student, you see here, Lancy Namioka moved with her parents from China to the United States of America. Here the writer, Lancy Namioka, she went with her parents from China to the United States of America. And as a result of this change, they noticed many differences in the habits and culture of the two countries, because the habits of Chinese and the culture of the Chinese is quite different with the American. And here in this lesson, Lancy describes her experience with a new kind of food. In this lesson, we are going to read about a food, and that is that the Chinese family has no knowledge how to eat that food. So let us begin the lesson. The first time our family was invited out to dinner in America was disgraced ourselves while eating celery. Now, first time the family was invited for a dinner party in America, and they were disgraced themselves because they felt ashamed while eating celery. And student, you have to know that celery is what? Celery is a plant eaten as a salad or cooked. It is eaten raw also, and it is eaten cooked also. So celery is an edible that is eaten as salad as well as cooked. And the writer is telling that we had immigrated. We had immigrated means they left their country and they went to another country for living. And the writer was telling that they were from China, and from China they went to another country. And during their early days in America, they had a hard time with American table manners. Means they are not clear, or they have no knowledge that how the American table manners, how the people of America eat different kinds of things, and the ways of eating is not known by the Chinese family. So student, with this only I end this class, and the next part of the chapters we'll see in the next class. Thank you.